To this meeting of the City Council for Monday, December 16, 2024 to order. And I'd ask if you'd all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Tamer, please call the roll.
Brennan.
Here.
Irby.
Here.
Deuter. Here. Barimas. Here. Hill.
Present.
Schenko. Here. Jensen. Here. Bram.
Here.
Cahill.
Here.
Toludo, absent. Park. Here. Nudera.
Here.
Bastido.
Here.
Nardini.
Here.
13 present, 1 absent.
13 present, 1 absent. We have a quorum. Item 2 on the agenda is receipt of written communications from the public. Clerk Tamer, do we have any written communications?
The only communication we had is former Alderman Polumsky has posted something.
All right, thank you. Is there any member of the public in the audience who has a written communication which he or she would like to deliver to the council? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll move on to public forum. Clerk Tamer, is anyone signed in for public forum?
Yes, Mayor, we have Tom Aldergott, please.
All right, Mr. Aldergott, if you'd approach the rear microphone, state your name. Address is optional. You have 3 minutes, and the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Tom Aldergott. I live next door to a house at 140 South Rex being built as we speak. For years, Elmhurst followed a set of rules that worked well together. One was a height limit of 27 feet, and the other was a side yard setback requirement of 5 feet. When a builder was constructing houses with these requirements in place, they rarely needed to trespass on the neighbor's property. They could place a ladder using the OSHA requirements, covering ladder use of 1 lateral foot for every 4 feet of ladder length. They could reach the gutters and walls that normally did not exceed 20 feet in height, and a ladder could safely fit within a 5-foot side yard setback. But what happened when Elmhurst increased the permitted building height to 35 feet and at the same time left the side yard setback requirements of 5 feet in place? Now, to reach the upper walls on some houses, the ladders used by builders needed to extend 6 or 7 feet from the building wall into the neighbor's property. Not only did adjacent property owners face the hardship caused by demolition and months of construction activity, they also had to deal with workers trespassing on their property in support of this disruption to their lives. But builders have argued that this disruption is temporary and not a big deal. Well, not to them, that is. What about the continued trespassing on adjacent property required from that point forward to maintain the new homes or even hang holiday lights? Why should adjacent owners have to deal with that? Why do Elmhurst City building officials think that building 35-foot tall homes as close to setback lines as possible is in keeping with their duty to protect, ensure, and promote the health, safety, and well-being of the public? I ask the council members to consider this question when asked to approve any building ordinance rewrites. Also, I found out after a recent FOIA request that Elmhurst deletes any damage reports that are more than 2 years old. That may be legal and follow state law. But just because it is legal does not make it in the public's best interest. If that is how property damage reports are handled, council members better act quickly if you need access to any other records that may not be favorable to Elmhurst City officials. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Clerk Tamer? All right. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to make public comment but did not have the opportunity to sign in previously? If so, please raise your hand. All right, seeing none, we'll close public forum. Item 4 on the agenda is announcements. Is there any alderman in the dais that has an announcement to make this evening? All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Clerk Tamer, please read the consent agenda.
5.1 executive session meeting minutes of the Elmhurst. Oh, we have an announcement to make on the.
Well, yeah, I was going to do it at the end, but I'm going to pull 5.21. We'll present it later. So if you want to leave that out of your recitation.
And then there was also a correction made in the minutes from last week on December 2nd. And do I have to say what the correction is?
Right.
Yeah, okay, I need to pull it up, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, on, just the correction made, Brennan pulled 7.8 and requested to return it to committee, and Irby pulled 7.9 to add the cost. The vote was for 7.9, was 12 ayes, 1 nay, 1 absent, with Irby being the nay.
All right, so is that item 5.3?
Correct, I believe so.
I think.
Oh, the agenda, on the.
On this,
consent?
yeah.
Yes, December 2nd minutes.
5.4.
Minutes from December
Oh,
2nd.
I'm looking at executive.
You know, I think,
Correct,
why
it's on
why don't
the
we
second
just,
page.
why don't we just pull that one and bring it back with the correction in, okay? So we're going to take off 5.4 and 5.21. Nope, 5.4 and 5.21.
2-1.
Right. All right, Clerk Tamer, then read the consent agenda less 5.4 and 5.21.
Okay. Executive session, 5.1, executive session, meeting minutes of the Elmhurst City Council on November 18th, 2024. 5.2, committee of the whole meeting minutes of the City Council on November 18th, 2024. 5.3, executive session meeting minutes of the Elmhurst City Council on December 2nd, 2024. 5.5, accounts payable, December 16th, 2024, $3,896,307.94. 5.6, referral, traffic study at Maple and North Avenues. 5.7, report, Honda on Grand, conditional use for PUD and pylon extension request, 300 West Grand Avenue. 5.8, report, case 24P19, Chick-fil-A, conditional use for a planned unit development, 235 South Illinois Route 83. 5.9 report, Explore Elmhurst Community Grant Revisions. 5.10 report, Bensonville Fire Protection District 1 MOU report. 5.11 report, WRF and Sanitary Sewer System Facility Plan Update. 5.12 report, Palmer Drive Phase 2 Engineering. 5.13 report, Village of Berkeley IGA High Street Paving. 5.14, Villa Park IGA, Illinois 83, Riverside, Monroe intersection. 5.15, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit for a planned unit development for the construction of improvements upon the property commonly known as 345 East St. Charles Road and 246 South Fair Avenue, Elmhurst, Illinois, Sandburg Middle School. 5.16, an ordinance granting a sign variation to the property commonly known as 476 North York Street, Elmhurst, Illinois. 5.7, an ordinance approving and authorizing the execution of a redevelopment agreement by and between Elmhurst Park District and the City of Elmhurst. 5.18, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024 and ending December 31st, 2024 in and for Special Service Area Number 6 of the City of Elmhurst. 5.19, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024 and ending December 31st, 2024 in and for Special Service Area Number 13 of the City of Elmhurst. 5.20, an ordinance for the levy and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, in and for Special Service Area Number 16 for the City of Elmhurst. 5.21, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a letter of intent for sale of property owned by the City of Elmhurst, the southern portion of vacant land, parking lot.
That's the one that we're pulling.
That's right, sorry. 5.22, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of an exchange agreement with EJ Equipment, Inc. for the exchange of Q's camera. 5.23, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a final balancing change order for the Park Avenue Bridge Rehabilitation Project. And 5.24, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of a professional services agreement between the City of Elmhurst and Metropolitan Family Services DuPage.
Thank you, Clerk Tamer. Is there any item on the consent agenda that any alderman would like to remove, either for further discussion or to vote against? All right. Seeing no additions, then I'd ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda minus items 5.4 and 5.21. Alderman Bastille with the motion, Alderman Brand with the second. Clerk Tamer?
Brennan?
Aye.
Irby?
Aye.
Deuter?
Aye.
Varimas.
Aye.
Hill.
Aye.
Shanko.
Aye.
Jensen.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Cahill.
Aye.
Toludo, absent. Nudera.
Aye.
I'm sorry, skip Park. Park.
Aye.
Nudera.
Aye.
Bastido.
Aye.
Nardini.
Aye.
13 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent.
13 ayes, 0 nays, 1 absent. The consent agenda passes. Reports and recommendations of appointed and elected officials. We're going to bring it back another. Actually, I'm going to let city manager go first this week, will I?
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mayor. So one item, it's a little lengthy, so bear with me. But working through our improvement system and looking for how we can always make things better, we are making some changes at the beginning of the year for the Elmhurst Connect service request system. So we will be launching a new system and mobile app, which will go live January 8th of 2025, which provides residents with a more streamlined and user-friendly way to report issues and request for city services. So this is going to take a couple different forms because you have the app that you can download and put on your phone, but you can also use the web-based system. So for web-based users, if you submit a service request through the city's website, there's no additional action required before, during, or after January 8th. The system will transition seamlessly on January 8th. For the mobile app new users, the current Elmhurst Connect app will no longer be available to download after this Thursday. So we're going to take that off the Apple and Android store and to prepare for the new system. So service requests can still be made using the website portal. And for mobile app current users, so those of us who have it on our phones already, the existing Connect app, we can continue to use the system until January 8th. And after January 8th, existing mobile app users will need to delete the current app and download the new app. We will be getting communications out to all the users, and those who have it, make sure that your notifications are turned on so that you know when it's available. So the current system will remain operational until January 8th so that there's uninterrupted service during the transition. And then, just to reiterate, starting January 8th, the new app will include all the same features that the residents are familiar with, plus some improved functionality and a better experience. Now, the one downside is that the service request history in the current app will no longer be viewable after the transition. So if that's important, we need to figure out a way that people can still record that. We're in the process of getting the word out. With the holidays here, we don't want to confuse things, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to let everybody know that we will start using that. You can, residents can always contact us at City Hall for information on that, and we'll be putting out lots and lots of information about how to do this. This service has provided to be very popular, and it's wonderful when you can, I'm considered a super user of the system apparently, and it's wonderful when you can report something at early in the morning and know that by lunchtime it's being addressed, and by the late afternoon it's probably completed if possible. So I give a lot of kudos to Cassandra and her staff for putting this together and for looking at improving the system as well.
Thank you, City Manager. I have 2 items. One is I did attend the Police Department employee party for the families at the police station, and there were 2 things remarkable to me. One was the condition of the police station, but we'll let that go for now. The other one was they were giving out the awards for commendations letters, et cetera, and they were recounting, the chief was reading off why they received the awards, and I thought about it a great deal, and it made me understand a little better or reinforce my belief of what a fine police department we have. And so I extend my congratulations to each of the officers who received their awards. Additionally, there was some questions raised after the vote last time on a motion regarding the $40,000 budget reduction, and people were asking why I was proposing to vote. City Attorney Storino and I looked at it the next day. The rule I was referring to, it says the mayor shall not vote on any ordinance, resolution, or motion except, and one of the exceptions is where 1/2 of the aldermen elected have voted in favor of an ordinance, resolution, or motion, even though there is no tie. So as we reconsidered it, my vote was proper. We didn't include it, and the gavel has fallen, but I wanted to explain that was the reason why I brought that up. So if it happens in the future, which I hope it doesn't, we'll know why. That is all I have. And any other reports from elected officials? All right, this is other business. We have a special recognition for outgoing Alderman Marty Deuter, who I'm not going to make sit in that rocking chair. She's still off her rocker, and we're not going to put her back in her rocker yet, but this is an opportunity for those of us who want to make any comments about Marty Deuter, Alderman Deuter, before she leaves. I will save my comments till the end, in case someone's already said it. I might shorten mine up a bit, but is there anyone who would like to make comment? Alderman Brennan.
Thank you, Mayor. So, Marty, on one hand, I'm super happy for you and happy for the residents of District 45. Your representation down in Springfield will be very significant. I live in the District 45, and I know we're all in good hands with you representing us. You're exactly what Springfield needs. On the other hand, I'm very sad. We are losing an alderman from the First Ward and losing a very reliable committee chair. This council has big shoes to fill. You've been a wonderful mentor. I've never called you that in public or even to your face, but you were. I really appreciated hearing your views on numerous topics. Many times we held the same views. However, there were times in which we did disagree. The beauty of our relationship was that when we truly disagreed, we moved forward, owning our position, respectfully articulating the logic behind our position, with obvious hopes of winning the vote. Regardless of the outcome, there was never a time in which I felt our relationship was strained. We respected the will of the majority and moved on. Some of the qualities that I think you demonstrated as an alderman are honesty, trustworthiness, self-awareness, dedication, passion, having a positive attitude, and being respectful. You set such a good example for us all and will truly be missed. Thank you for being such a great friend and mentor. Don't be a stranger, especially on St. Patrick's Day. I wish you the best in Springfield.
Anyone else want to make comment? Alderman Jensen.
Thank you, Mayor. Marty, from my first week on council, you've been a great person to learn from.
Sorry, Alderman Jensen, you'll have to use the traditional microphone.
For my first week on council, you've been a great person to learn from. Whenever I've had questions about process or details on a topic, I knew I could call you. I appreciate that you are willing to consider both sides in an argument and with an open mind, and when you reach a different conclusion than I do, you respect the thought and process that went into it. You are one of the leaders on this council, and it sounds like I'm repeating him, just shorter words, but you're one of the leaders on this council, and Elmhurst is definitely better off for having you serve it. I know Springfield is a different place, more challenging and complex, but I have no doubt that you'll quickly become a leader there as well. Best of luck, and sorry, I'm still going to call you to talk about local topics. You truly will be missed.
Anyone else? Alderman Nardini, and then Nudera. Nardini, Nudera. All right.
Thank you. I wrote this down, Alderman Deuter, so that I don't pause far too long. I've only served on city council for about 2 years. In that time, I've asked questions of every other member, but none more regularly than Alderman Deuter. She's been so patient with my novice level questions and always forthcoming with help. Sitting in on her committee, on the committee she chairs, I've found her to be thorough, respectful of committee members, staff, and citizens alike, businesslike, yet engaging. If the state of Illinois gets half the thoughtful, deliberative policy wonk that the city of Elmhurst has enjoyed, the state will be well served. Thank you for your service, Alderman Deuter. We will miss you.
Alderman Dudera.
Marty, I just want to thank you for being a great mentor. When I walked in here back in 2021, I was completely green of how things go on. You were very helpful, and I want to wish you all the best in your next endeavors with the state. Thank you very much.
Anyone else? Alderman, well, I can't do it all at once, but we'll go with Alderman Hill, then Alderman Park, and then Alderman Bastido.
Alderman Duder, Alderman Deuter, Alderman Duterre, Alderman Doyleter, Alderman Dutier, Alderman Deuteronomy. I'll just go with Martin. Martin? No, I'm kidding. Marty, you've been an amazing presence in my time on council. Of course, I served my longest with you as chair, and I felt that I learned just about everything initially about how to approach and tackle problems under your tutelage. I also appreciate that you were the very first alderman to reach out to me and show me just how wrong-headed some of my thinking was. No, to reach out to me and help me through the process of, even before I'd been elected, help me learn some of the things I should be thinking about and considering when trying to frame my thoughts about serving an elected office. So I will miss those Monday phone calls. I will miss your agreeing and disagreeing presence staring at me across the council floor, depending on the topic, and I wish you the best.
Alderman Park.
Thank you. Marty, I could spend so much time telling you, it has been an honor and a joy to have you as a teammate and as a friend to solve all of Elmhurst problems as we were walking all around or on the elliptical or wherever. I have learned more from you than any single other person of any bit of my career, my whole life. And so for that, I thank you. I'm still going to be calling you and still try to, be next to you at FFC any chance I get to learn what's going on and what you're doing, because just, whether it's work that we do here or work that we're doing in life, as just people, you are just a truly incredible person, and I have really cherished our friendship. Thank you.
Alderman Bastido.
First, I would like to say thank you for never asking me to work through city council problems while working out or walking. Instead of, we tend to do it over a drink or two, which is more my style, so thank you. I just wanted to bring up when I first worked with you, which was about 10 years ago, and I was on school board and you were on city council, and thankfully, it seems like a long time ago, and a lot of people don't remember just how strained relations were back then. And I really felt like we weren't going to be making much progress in the topic that we were discussing. And then Marty called a meeting at City Hall, and that might have been my first time coming to a meeting here. And we sat around the table. We eventually did make progress, despite a lot of hurt feelings and stubbornness by both sides, and you really demonstrated leadership then. You were not afraid to talk about hard topics and to bring people together, and thank you for your time on council.
City Treasurer.
Well, thank you, Marty, for your service here on this council and your effective leadership. I don't want to, everything that everyone's saying here, I don't want to rehash, but it's been a pleasure to serve with you and looking forward to being your constituent here, and couldn't be more elated for you. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan.
Alderman Varamus.
Thank you. Marty, your collaborative, visionary leadership and solutions have been instrumental in shaping the First Ward and strengthening our Elmhurst community during your tenure. You advocated for forward-thinking policies, balancing immediate needs with long-term effects while never being self-serving. You took me under your wing and patiently guided me, answering my many questions. We made a great team, and together we tackled key issues like construction site standards, traffic safety, and updating our downtown plan. We advocated for beautification efforts by promoting public art and adapted during the pandemic with our informative B-rated YouTube videos. You've been an incredible colleague and friend. I'll deeply miss our partnership. I have no doubt you'll continue to serve with the same passion and integrity. I'm confident you'll achieve great things in the General Assembly and continue to be a strong voice for our community. Thank you for being my mentor. It has been a true honor to work alongside you, and I wish you all the best in your new role as state rep.
Anyone else? Alderman Bram.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Mayor. As everybody already reiterated, you have set a legacy here at City Hall. Your hard work, your determination, your fight for any issue that came across the dais. Sometimes we agreed, sometimes we're on opposite sides of the issue, but your research, your dedication, and trying to convince others of where you stand and why you stand on the issue has always been something that I have respected. I just want to say I wish you the best. I'm sure with the same hard work that you have done here at City Hall, you will do the same downstate and will do wonderful things. Thank you and good luck.
Alderman Bram. Anyone else? City Clerk.
Marty, I just want to say thank you for always being available. Every time I would call you clueless and ask you to explain something. And there's a few of you, of course, that do that. But Marty, you've always been willing, even before this, when youth commission stuff, always willing to have conversations. And I've learned quite a bit from you. So I thank you for just that, as well as the friendship through these years, too. And good luck to you.
Anyone else? Alderman Toledo.
I'm glad I made it in time. I apologize, but I didn't want to miss this. We had our Christmas pageant at my kids' grade school. But Marty, it's a pleasure to be able to congratulate you and say that it's been very nice to work with you over the many years that we've worked together now in the City Council. You're one of the most dedicated aldermen up here, if not the most dedicated, and the people that you represent in Ward 1, we're lucky to have you represent them. And you really work very hard, you're very smart, and I know that those skills will serve you well downstate. Hopefully serve Elmhurst a little bit well as well. But good luck to you. Good luck as you and your family transition to your new role, and we look forward to seeing what you're going to do down there.
All right, anyone else? Alderman Irby.
Thank you, Mayor. First I'd like to say is thank you, Marty, for seeing me come in. I talked to you before council, before the election. I've spoken to you many times, of course, since. And Marty, I knew when I got here that you were the anchor. You know, we have the mayor as one end of the bookend, and I knew Marty was the other end of that bookend. And those two big bookends make the council as strong as it is. We don't move off our moorings because of those two anchor points. And I knew that coming in, and it was confirmed when I got here that you put in the time, you passionately cared about the new people coming on. I know for sure me personally, and I don't think there's any words that could really express that gratitude. I knew from that you would make a great D2 District 45 rep, and I wanted to help you out as much as I could. And as Alderman Brennan said, we're going to miss you. Those are gigantic shoes to fill, and I'm not sure where we're going to get the anchor. So it's more than shoes. You're the anchor and a bookend. So with your time and our time we spent together, much appreciated, and I'm sure it will continue. And we also shared similar family backgrounds with our children, and we're like duplicate stories on two different planets. And so I felt special with Marty, and still will. Thank you, Marty.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? City Manager?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So Alderman Deuter, on behalf of staff, I want to say thank you. You've always been tremendously supportive. Your leadership has been much appreciated. You've challenged us to think in different ways, and we're all better for that. This isn't goodbye, because we look forward to seeing you in Springfield, at least on our annual drive down, if not more often. So good luck to you, and we look forward to working with you in that capacity.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you. Well, for those of you who don't know, Marty was elected in 2013. She's now almost finishing her third term as alderman. She started out for 2 years on finance. She was vice chair of public works. She was chair of public safety, and she's finishing out as chair of DPZ. So pretty much done it all in city council. I recall before I appointed Marty chair of PAS, she said, I don't really want to do that. I don't want to be out in front. I like to, work in the background, all the good work. And I remember saying, why do you think that you wouldn't be the leader that she has become? And she's demonstrated that now on 2 committees. And I think the experience has made her a true thought leader on the council. Aldermen, as has been testified to today, have looked to her in help in analyzing and deciding their own positions. And I don't know how many times I heard the word mentor, but it was significant. And moreover, you've been an alderman that's not only been respected by your peers here, but by the entire city. I'm not sure the residents appreciate how much time you've put into your role as an alderman with the city. You carefully analyze each issue, taking copious notes and interacting with other council members. I don't know if you're going to donate your notes to the city council, not for the museum. If Mr. Ober would pick them up at the end, that would be helpful. But you have a practice of seeking input from other aldermen, helping to educate everyone on the issues, and showing people how to compromise. If an alderman ever wanted an example, if a new alderman's coming in about how to do the job, you would be the one I would point to as the model for that. Now, everyone keeps saying, many times we've disagreed. Well, we have too, but usually I wind up thinking it the same way you do, so we don't usually have the agreement at the end. I learned from you. I think that we've worked together to try to analyze a lot of issues, and almost all the time have reached the same conclusion. You've supported me as mayor. You, along with the other committee chairs, have been an important part of my leadership team. You're someone I could always count on for thoughtful counsel and to show good judgment. Of equal importance, you've been a good friend. You've supported me on the council and personally, and you're in it for the right reason. Someone took my word, a true policy wonk, which is a compliment for you, who makes Elmhurst a better place for everyone. As they say, we'll miss you on the council, but you are, believe it or not, maybe going on to greater things. I wouldn't want to go down there, but you can do it for us. I'm very confident you will represent us so well in the General Assembly. If all the legislators were of your quality, the state might not be in its current fiscal turmoil, or at least we'd be able to find a way out. So you are what good government is all about. So thank you for your service, or should I say your first chapter of service to the city of Elmhurst. I know it's official because I have your key fob back now, so you're not getting in. I'm proud of you, my friend, and I know you'll do great things. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, if you would like to say anything, don't be mean to me. All right.
I would love to say a couple of things. First, to everyone, thank you for your incredibly kind words. I couldn't hope to hear nicer things, and really appreciate everyone's comments tonight. It is hard for me to believe that tonight is my last city council meeting. So 12 years ago, a neighbor and now dear friend stopped by my house, told me one of our aldermen was not running for re-election, and asked if I might be interested. I was surprised, excuse me. I was surprised by her question, but I responded enthusiastically, I love this kind of work. So for 12 years, I routinely have been telling people that serving as alderman is the best job I've ever had. And I'm grateful for the nudge that my neighbor gave me 12 years ago. When I started on the council, I probably knew the work better than I knew Elmhurst. I'd done public policy work for the city of Chicago for 8 years and had only lived in Elmhurst for about 5 years. But when you start doing this work, you very quickly meet people, and it didn't take me long to realize that it's the people in Elmhurst who make our community amazing. I've had wonderful colleagues on the council, past and present. I've worked with great mayors, and we have a top-notch, extraordinarily professional city staff. Beyond the group of people directly involved in city government, it's all of us, collectively as residents, that shape our community and make Elmhurst a wonderful place to live, with each of us making unique contributions. So all of us are Team Elmhurst, and the more we engage constructively, the better our community will be. I've seen what's possible when people come together, listen to each other, discuss differences, and find middle ground. And I've seen the real breakdown and missed opportunities when communication doesn't happen, and action or comments are based on interpretations and assumptions rather than direct communication and a thorough understanding of circumstances. One of the beauties of local government is its nonpartisan nature, and I've tried to be fierce in protecting it. I don't think the growing divide in our country makes anyone better off, and there's no reason, in my opinion, to create division where it doesn't need to exist. Communication is an antidote to division and polarization, and I encourage all of us to engage rather than splinter when there are differences of opinion. Working together, we can accomplish great things. I owe a very big note of thanks to my husband, Dave, and my kiddos, Nora and Henry. I've given this job a lot of time and attention, and nearly every Monday night for as long as my kids can remember. So a big thanks to them for letting me do this work. Serving on the council and representing the residents in Ward 1 has been an incredible honor. A big thank you to the ward's residents for giving me the privilege of serving. I'm going to make one final plug for my often repeated tagline, "Come to committee." We've said this a lot to our ward on multiple occasions. In addition to encouraging communication rather than division, I encourage anyone with an interest in Elmhurst government to attend committee meetings. Many people don't realize that the council's actions almost always follow a committee recommendation, so the real work of the council happens at the committee meetings when those recommendations are being developed. So for people like me who love the work, the good stuff happens at committee. One more thank you to the residents of Ward 1, colleagues past and present, Mayor Levin, Mayor Morley, and the incredible city staff for the opportunity to serve, work together, and do good work for our community. Thanks to everyone.
Your work is not over, Alderman Deuter. We need one more motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, very good. Is there a second on that one? All right, before we cast the vote, I want to thank everyone on the council for your year of hard work, for all that you've done for the city. I want to wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas to the staff as well. And I will then say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. We are adjourned.